What's good, y'all? Cal Visuals here, and today we're gonna touch on some cinematic lighting techniques, understanding color temperature, tint, and CRI. But first, before we jump into those, we have to know the four most common types of lighting. There is LED lights, tungsten lights, fluorescent lights, and HMIs. Today we're gonna focus on LEDs as they're the most common in the film industry currently. They're the most portable and versatile. Additionally, we're gonna focus on LED lights because you can control the temperature as well as the tint, which will be big for this tutorial. So enough of the chit chatter, let's dive into the details. First and foremost, let's talk about color temperature. This is somewhat confusing, but color temperature essentially runs on the scale of Kelvin. And so when we're looking at Kelvin, first understand 5600 is kind of like your base point, if you will. This is pure daylight. This is like noon sun. And so what I like to use to kind of reference this scale is thinking about it like a fire. So the hottest part of the flame is blue and the cooler part is orange. And so you kind of want to think about that with the scale. You know, the higher the numbers, those are more reference to daylight. The lower on the scale, the more reflective of tungsten light it is. Daylight, we're going for the more balanced, cool look, and tungsten is a much warmer feeling. So, you know, one end of the scale, we're looking at these cool blues, and we look at the other end, you know, the tungstens, we're looking at these warm, inviting colors. That's why most often in homes you see tungsten lights, is because they give a warm and inviting feeling to them. That's why, you know, at nighttime, for instance, you know, you often see that huge contrast between houses. If you're looking at a distance or looking at a cityscape, you know, you see this blue overtoned haze in the background, and then all the lights are kind of this bright lit up orange of the city. You know, is because most of those lights in those buildings and houses are tungsten lights. Next, let's talk about tint. Now understand, first and foremost, tint runs independently of temperature. They're separate, so understand that first. Tint now runs from green to magenta, and this is where CRI comes into play. CRI is very important. CRI stands for Color Rendering Index. Now, the higher the CRI, the better the light. Now, when you think about lights at your house, these have really poor CRI. These often, our eyes, you know, we don't notice it, we don't see it because our eyes adjust so fast and easily. But if you look at it in camera, I bet you if you were shooting inside a house, you know, just with the lamps and standard lights in the house, if they're all tungsten, you'd be getting a very warm temperature with a very green tint. And that's because the CRI of these lights is very poor. Now, the higher the CRI, the better color rendering index it has, which means the more true the color is to the tint and temperature. This is why filmmaking lights are so expensive, is because they have higher CRIs. And lastly, with you know, understanding CRI and just looking for lights in general, I would highly suggest that you look for lights with at least a 90 CRI or above. That way, you know, again, you're getting something with quality color rendering index that you can trust and is reliable. It's going to save you a ton of time in post-production and just, you know, getting a very accurate color scheme and really getting some clean skin tones. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned a little bit about some cinematic lighting techniques, more specifically temperature, tint, CRI, why it matters, why you should be thinking about it and using it to better your films. Be sure to like and subscribe if you guys got some good material from this. I'm gonna continue to touch on some cinematic lighting techniques, diving deeper and deeper. Oh, and post notification, turn that on, because that next video coming, you're gonna love it. All right, y'all, I'll see y'all then. Peace.